Speaking on hip hop, Lil Yachty has some comments to say
Yeah.
with an interview at Rolling Stone's Musicians event. This stirred up a lot of controversy, and for me, I didn't see the problem because I actually agreed with him. But this is what he said. Lil Yachty said, "Hip hop is in a terrible place. The state of hip hop right now is a lot of imitation. It's a lot of quick, low quality music being put out. It's a lot less risk taking. It's a lot less originality. People are too safe now. Everyone is safe."
So I think part of the drama over these comments is one, Lil Yachty, you came up just copying what was popular on SoundCloud. You literally did that. That's what got you popular, and people hated it. And now you're still around. Amazing. And you drop an album this year that's just copying alternative rock music. So why are you talking about like imitators out here? So I think partly it's like wrong messenger for maybe a correct message, but copycats are always a thing in every art and everything, and it's just bound to happen. But hip hop is not in a bad place. I am the most pro supporter of this. That hip hop is in the best state it's ever been because everyone who's complaining that's imitating, what music do you want to listen to? You want boom bap? I can find you the best rappers I've ever heard over boom bap beats. You want lyrical miracle rap? I can find you some guys who are spitting syllable after syllable. You like opium rap, rage rap? I got some guys for you. You want some underground people? Like you can find the best version of anything if you are willing to look. But yeah, Yachty, if you're pushing, he literally signed people to his label who are a bunch of copycats. You are promoting your own philosophy. It's stupid.
Mhm.
And I don't mean any shade to Yachty because it's crazy that he's still around in the best way possible. Like amazing for him. But we don't need this negativity around the genre. Nas said hip hop was dead in 2006. Guess what? It didn't die. It's the biggest genre and still the biggest genre. It's gonna stay the biggest genre. Ah, now,
All
now
right.
you go.
I'm gonna push back, and obviously I'm gonna give you a quick roasting session. And basically, what Yachty was saying beforehand was people would rather take the L than taking risks. I butchered that last sentence completely. But listen to this. First off, the disrespect towards Lil Yachty is ridiculous. Like you said before, he has lasted this long.
Good for him.
That means he's doing something right. And although he was doing something that was on trend, it was still unique for the night and that whole auto tune, a sound he was
Yeah.
doing, Minnesota. It was his own unique thing.
Don't
It was
like
weird and
Minnesota.
quirky, which is why people liked him. When he was a feature of Drams Broccoli, he was the man. So
I
I wouldn't say
Spy.
he was copying anyone. He had his own sound within a trend that was popular in hip hop. Also,
Yeah.
he has evolved. This year, he's been one of the best artists with his album. I think it's Let It Start Here. That was a
Yeah.
great album. Yes, he was imitating maybe some type of alternative psychedelic sound that people have done. It was still something new and refreshing for Yachty. And he did take a risk, right? He did take a risk, which a lot of artists aren't doing.
Yeah.
And to talk about Hip Hop is Dead by Nas in 2006, this guy Adam said, "Oh, everybody in hip hop has said that." No.
It's
The only
true.
time it's nah, no. Okay, so I'm roasted real quick, all right? So you're telling me Big Daddy, no, you're telling me Grandmaster Flash and DJ Mr. Luke, DJ Luke, Mr. Luke are looking at Rakim, Big Daddy Kane, and KRS
Yeah.
One saying hip hop is dead. You're telling me
Who?
those three are looking at the 90s rappers, Biggie, Pac,
Yes.
Nas, saying hip hop is dead. You're telling me
Who?
those rappers are looking at 2000s rappers saying Eminem,
Yes.
Jay-Z, Lil Wayne, and Kanye
Who?
is dead. You're telling me
Melly.
those rappers are telling me
Was it
that Kendrick, Drake, and Cole are dead. No, nobody
was
said that. The
was it
only
Melly
time
Mel?
Hmm?
That was it Melly Mel this year who was roasting Eminem and then had to put out an apology because of his roasting. Dude,
Yeah,
trust
that
me,
has nothing to do with hip
we
hop
were
specifically,
we
though.
weren't alive during this time. Trust me, there's people rapping in the 90s that those 80s rappers were like, that's just not the way the genre started.
That is
If you
not
don't
true.
think that conversation was ever had about any artist, maybe it was
Maybe
like,
from a few people, but not from the majority.
dude,
Now the
it's
majority of hip
no,
hop
it's
is saying there is a serious problem. The fact that who was it, Busta Rhymes or whoever was on my Twitter feed saying, "Y'all,
yo,
hip hop is dying. We need to
Rap
fix it."
music is down 40%. What are we as rappers, producers, composers, etc. gonna do about this shit? Because it's down 40%.
when Jay-Z dropped Big Pimpin'.
Who's
You don't
huh?
think hip hop was criticizing Big Pimpin'? They were. That bling rap era,
But they didn't
people
say it was
hated.
dying. They
Yes,
didn't. They said I
we
don't
didn't
know.
use the word dying. People hated on the bling era. It
Agreed. And
happened.
when was that? The 2000s, which I said that was the big contender. Apart from what we see now, the 2000s was when people were like, okay, this is not good. This bling bling
Yeah.
era, this cheap
Like,
music. But then immediately to save the day, Lil Wayne, Kanye, Eminem came back
yes.
from retirement, Jay Z came from retirement, right? This new kid called Drake coming in. All
And
right. We
Jay
have
Z
Kendrick and
and
Cole,
Jay Z made an
right?
album called Death to Autotune.
Mhm.
and didn't support that. And
Mhm.
guess what? Autotune became the wave, and he was just being a hater and couldn't see forward. And guess what? Yes, they didn't hate on J. Cole because he was and Kendrick because he's the saving grace of lyrical
Mhm.
rap. You don't think they hate on the Migos and Future? All that
Okay, but
mumble
that's
rap?
not that's hating on a specific artist, not the genre saying it's going down. There's a specific sound or a specific person or group in hip hop. We're talking about the genre declining in sales. We see it. The fact that there's no Grammy noms, the fact that all the
This,
albums were
I'll say
not
this
were not
year,
okay.
this might not have been the best year specifically. It just happens that a lot of the artists we love didn't drop this year. Like all my favorite
Mhm.
artists, if I can write my top 10, like we were supposed to get the Tyler album. His every 2-year thing was supposed to happen. It didn't
Mhm.
happen this year. So we didn't get the Tyler album. I bet if Tyler had an album this year, best album of the year, rap album of the year, he just didn't drop it.
So one
We
album out of a landfill of trash.
I'm just saying that we didn't get the mainstream artist didn't deliver this year.
There you go. Good emphasis.
Travis, it was a good album, but it didn't deliver. We were all ready for it to be the best album of the year and to
Mhm.
be Grammy nominated. I wanted it to be. It just didn't perform like that. We didn't get an album from Jay-Z. We didn't get an album from Kendrick or J. Cole or Lil Wayne, even though that mixtape he dropped was
How
bad.
much more do you need? Literally everybody
Freddie Gibbs,
dropped this year.
Freddie Gibbs didn't
Everybody you
drop.
asked for. One person, do you know the amount of artists who dropped this year? There's no excuses you can make. If
I'm
you
talking
look
about
up
the
all the
mainstream
artists,
guys. I'm talking about
mainstream
them.
guys, all of them dropped. All the big artists you could wish for dropped apart from a couple like
Not for
Freddie
me.
and
Not.
Tyler
I just said
and Cole.
Jay-Z, Cole, Kendrick,
Who needs a
Freddie.
Jay-Z album right now? He already delivered a
It
444.
would have
He's
been
chilling
rap
doing
album of the
business
year. I'm
stuff.
saying these are people that would have
Oh my
dropped.
god. Why are you relying on an
Future,
old 40-year-old man,
future,
50-year-old man instead of the
future.
current rappers right now?
I'm still going.
Mhm.
Future
Okay, okay,
also
okay.
Future also didn't drop. Kanye didn't drop. Tyler didn't drop. JID didn't drop. All these people that we think are like the saving grace of like lyrical conscious rap, they just didn't drop this year. It's just how it happened. And
That's a bad excuse, man. In terms of
I,
mainstream rap, literally everybody dropped this year, and all the artists you name, most of them dropped the year prior to that, and still people
yeah.
are complaining and
And last year was
suffering.
last year was a good. I can't even think what the Grammys were last year, but it was a good year of hip hop last year.
It was. But I just want to emphasize that we are talking about mainstream acts. Like Adam said, today in hip hop, there's so many different avenues, right? You can listen to underground, to melodic, autotune, trap, right? That's great. But in terms of the mainstream, it is a serious problem. And the thing is, why is this guy talking about Kanye West when Kanye just gave him Donda? Why is he talking about Kanye West? And how is Kanye West going to save us? You don't need a Kanye album right now. Stop relying on the old guys
Yeah,
because they're so good.
you're
And
turning
let's
into
start
like
looking at the new youngins. Where are the youngins at? They aren't there, my brother. And they aren't there. Who's gonna
my
lift the
boy
genre?
Red
This
Veil
guy's gonna
next
this
year.
guy's gonna expect Jay-Z to drop at 70 years old because the genre's struggling.
I guess I mean we talked about we can't do this conversation over and over again, but it's the whole niche community thing. Like there are
Mhm.
young people who are great, Red Veil, and he's an example of someone who produces a whole album and is amazing at rapping. We're starting. I mean, there's so many artists that we think are like young coming up artists, and they're actually 29 years old, which is
Mhm.
awesome for the genre. That like you can still your dreams aren't dying because you're in your late 20s. But yeah, it's hard. There's a lot of music out there for your
It's
19-year-old
hard.
self to stand out. Because also, it's hard to be a good rapper at 19. I think it's just crazy that Nas is like the best rapper you've ever heard at 19, or Joey
Yeah.
Badass was, and it fools us into thinking that it's easy. It is
Mhm.
just crazy that they were that good at rapping.
It's crazy, but you guys let us know what you think. Who is tweaking, me or Adam? I think it's Adam because hip hop is not in a good space. I feel like this is an objective statement and it's in crisis mode. And the closest thing we've got to that was in the 2000s during the bling bling rap. But guess what? We saw over the horizon, we saw Kendrick, we saw Drake, we saw Cole. Now, who we seeing? It is slow.
Last
But
comment.
y'all,
Last
mm?
comment.
Okay, last comment.
2016 Double XL list was looked at, and people might are forgetting this. It was looked at as an awful list and was criticized, and now all those rappers are still around. Hip hop is not dying. It's here forever.
They're still around, and look
Thank
what
you.
happened. Look at the result because they're still around.
Yes.